There were reports in Russian news wires today that those two ships you mentioned, an anti-submarine ship and a missile cruiser, were headed for the Mediterranean. A military source told Interfax that it was in response to the, quote, well-known situation in the region, in clear reference to Syria. Certainly, Moscow has been very vocal in airing its displeasure at the thought of a Western-led military intervention in Syria, has used its power in the UN to so far block a resolution that would allow for military action, and has told U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry and others directly that it would think such strikes would be deeply counterproductive and harming the diplomatic avenue for solving the crisis.
Now, as you say, Russia has made it pretty clear that it might veto any resolution at the UN on military action against Syria. So what's it doing on the diplomatic front? What's the latest on that?
Well, that's the main criticism that many would levy against the Russian side in the entire evolution of the Syrian crisis over the past 2 years. On the one hand, it has called for multilateral engagement on the diplomatic front through the United Nations, showing its displeasure toward any sort of ad hoc or military intervention in the crisis. But at the same time, it's urged international parties to go through the UN and try and resolve the conflict diplomatically. It hasn't really come up with many initiatives of its own. It's been dragging its feet on a conference that never happened between the rebels and Syrian government in Geneva. So at the same time, it argues against military intervention and hasn't really come up with diplomatic initiatives of its own.